For the first time in the history of the Mat-Su Borough, a study of how many adult women are falling victim to domestic violence is complete. Fox 4's Victoria Taylor brings us more on the results from our satellite centre. Hi, Victoria.
Hey, Stevie. Studies in the last frontier have long proven domestic violence is what some would call an epidemic. And while Mat-Su Borough officials are saying these numbers are not shocking, they're simply too high.
Each number counted to represent the whole is a person, our mother or sister or aunt, neighbor or friend, or even ourselves.
Over the past 3 years, the Mat-Su Borough, along with the UAA Justice Center, have been cold calling women in the area, asking them to willingly participate in a baseline survey.
We can use that as a starting point to then think about, well, what do we do now? And how do we turn the curve on this serious epidemic?
The epidemic Dr. Rose is referring to is domestic violence, something until Tuesday the borough had little information to go on.
We are not looking here at the number of assaults that have occurred in the past year. We're only looking at the number of adult women who have experienced at least one assault in the past year. We find that over half of adult women have experienced violence in their lives. We know that the true number is actually much higher than that.
Some are calling the results conservative because only adult women meeting certain criteria were allowed to participate, which could have impacted the final result.
Because it was a phone survey, we only included women who either had a landline or a cell phone, and they had to live in a private residence.
Women in hospitals and shelters were excluded, as well as inmates and women who did not speak English.
Unfortunately, we had to exclude other women from participating in the survey, and we believe that their victimization histories are probably quite a bit higher.
As with any survey, boundaries are set, and according to one official with the Council on Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault, these exclusions do not hurt the results.
I think it is valid, and I think it's important, and I think it's difficult for people to know that it's true, and so you sort of want to wonder about it. You know, you want to find a little something, well, maybe this isn't quite right or that isn't quite right, but in fact, it is accurate.
While this is the first survey of its kind for the borough, plans to expand are already being made.
We'd like to repeat the survey 5 years from now and hopefully see what has changed within these 5 years.
Prior to this research, the borough was using data from over 15 years ago, and it wasn't borough specific. As of today, Dr. Rose said the only criticism they're receiving is from the choice to not use male participants.
And I was going to ask about that, Victoria. Why weren't men included?
So mostly the decision was because of funding. It would have cost quite a bit more to include men, and already this was an extensive survey. You know, it was done over the course of 3 years. And, you know, when I asked about that and asked if they had plans to do a future survey, there aren't any at this point. You know, again, later down the road, maybe they'll revisit it.